Welcome. Do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Exclusive.
The alleged terrorism charges, meted on Nnamdi Kanu. A court adjourns Nnamdi Kanu trial indefinitely. That is what it is. Court adjourns Nnamdi Kanu's trial indefinitely. The Federal High Court, sitting in Abuja yesterday, adjourned indefinitely the trial of the Biafra Nation agitator Nnamdi Kanu in the terrorism charges brought against him by the federal government. A trial judge, Justice Binta Nyako, approved of the trial since and at the instance of Kanu, pending the resolution of the federal government's appeal against the October 13th judgment of the Court of Appeal that discharged him from terrorism charges. The federal government's appeal seeking a reversal of the Court of Appeal's judgment is pending before the Supreme Court. Two other cases billed for hearing before the court were also put off indefinitely for the same reason. Meanwhile, Kanu refused to appear in court in protest against the federal government's refusal to obey the appeal court ruling that ordered his release from detention. Kanu's refusal to appear in court was conveyed to Justice Binta by the federal government counsel, Mohammed Abubakar. He informed the court that all entreaties made to persuade him to have a change of heart were removed, and the Kanu was said to have stood his ground not to appear in court until the October 13th judgment of the Court of Appeal is respected and obeyed by releasing him from the custody of the Department of State Service, the DSS in Abuja. However, Chief Mike Ezekume, senior advocate of Nigeria, who is leading Kanu's defense team, told the court that federal government's allegation was strange to him. He says, "My lord, this is totally strange to me because this is a person that has never hidden his intention to always be in court. In fact, even in processes we filed at both the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court, the defendant said he would want to be also present in court for hearing of all the matters. He further notified the trial judge about the judgment of the Court of Appeal that quashed the 15-count charge. Federal government preferred against his client and discharged him of all the allegations. Ozekume contended that since federal government has gone to the Supreme Court to set aside the judgment and his client also challenging the order that stayed the execution of the verdict, it was better for the matter to be adjourned died indefinitely. We have not even been served with a discharge. We only read about it on the social media. It was this morning that we discovered that it has been listed on the cost list, and I thought that my learned friend will stand up and say that in view of this sub-16 appeal court judgment that he is withdrawing it. We are surprised because this is an abuse of court and process, Ezekiel stated. Now, if it's an abuse of court, doings and withdrawing and also discharging and acquitting and not even obeying the court order or court verdict, it's so very, very appalling. And this is not a good one at it. Now, if court says discharged and acquitted, it simply means yes, let this person go home. You're freed, totally freed, and freed indeed, and not making him remain still in the custody of a DSS or let court not even know the left from its right. Because if court says yes, that is what it is. And if court says no, that is what it is. And the court and the three justices that oversaw Nnamdi Kanu's case, and they have been, I don't know, transferred. I don't even know what English to use, transferred from one place to another. And that is what it is. And they are telling us that they'll appeal. What do you want to appeal? Okay, even if they want to appeal, let them go back home. Let them appeal from home. Let Nnamdi Kanu, stay at home and you can appeal from home. Yes, appeal from whom? Discharged and acquitted, that means you're free. If as it is, and they're telling us a different story, that means what Brufin, Namikanu's international lawyer, said is true. Said the judiciary system of Nigeria has compromised. Justice Binta is of the trial by saying put off the trial indefinitely at the instance of Kanu, pending the resolution of the federal government's appeal against the October 13 judgment of the Court of Appeal that discharged him from terrorism charges. The federal government appeal seeking reversal of the Court of Appeal's judgment is also pending before the Supreme Court. Two other cases billed for hearing before the court were also put off indefinitely for the same reason. Meanwhile, Kanu refused to appear in court in protest against the federal government's refusal to obey the appeal court ruling that ordered his release from detention. Kanu's refusal to appear in court was conveyed to Justice Binta Nyako by the federal government counsel, Mohammed Abubakar. He also informed the court that all entreaties made to persuade him to have a change of heart were revoked. Kanu was said to have stood his ground not to appear in court until the October 13 judgment of the Court of Appeal is respected and obeyed by releasing him from the custody of the Department of the State Service, DSS in Abuja. However, Chief Mike Ezekume, senior advocate of Nigeria, who is leading Kanu's defense team, told the court that federal government's allegation was strange to him. Now, he says, my lord, this is totally strange to me because this is a person that has never hidden his intention to always be in court. In fact, even in processes we filed at both the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court, the defendant said he would want to be present in court for hearing of all the matters. He further notified that the trial judge about the judgment of the Court of Appeal that quashed the 15-count charge federal government preferred against his client and discharged him of all the allegations. Zekome contended that since federal government has gone to the Supreme Court to set aside the judgment and his client also challenging the order that stayed the execution of the verdict, it was better for the matter to be adjourned indefinitely. We have not even been served with this charge. We only read about it on the social media. It was this morning that we discovered that it has been listed on the cause list, and I thought that my learned friend will stand up and say that in view of the subsisting appeal court judgment that he is withdrawing it. Well, we are surprised because this is an abuse of court process. Ezekume had stated, wow, Nigerian judiciary has compromised. And where is the compromise coming from? No one knows. Now, Nigeria itself is a jeopardy. Ezekume has tried all his best. So many councils have tried their best, and meanwhile, the three justices who were transferred, we don't know where they are transferred to. Well, this one will draw the curtain. Thanks for listening.